In this video, I want to review the first of many books that I will review on this channel. Rom Wills, Nice Guys and Players. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Dr. Anwar Youssef Dunbar, and this is Big Discussions 76, Entertainment and Media. First of all, please like this video, please share it, and please subscribe to my channel. Well, the idea for this video came to me literally in the last 2 days. When I started this channel, I thought about it only in the context of discussing, things like the Avengers and, the Justice League and, Star Wars and the Matrix and things from pop culture, potentially some music. And then it dawned on me about a week or so ago that with this channel being called Big Discussions 76, Entertainment and Media, I could do multiple things, because media is not just TV and the movies, but it's also books. And it just dawned on me, you know what, a good book to discuss would be Rom Wills, Nice Guys and Players. So I reached out to Rom. I follow Rom on Instagram. And as I'll discuss, I follow Rom on YouTube, and I'm a Patreon, so I support his work, and I very much enjoy his messages. So I'm going to start there. Before I give a brief overview of the book, I'm just going to talk to you about the author, Rom Wills, how I found him, and what he's meant to me. And so I really started watching YouTube and watching content creators on YouTube probably starting in 2015. I don't really remember how Rom's videos got put in front of me, but once they did, I tuned in and I got hooked on what I was seeing and listening to. And so, in a general sense, Rom's content, at least on his men's channel, because he has a business channel and a deep thought channel, and now a ladies channel. And by the way, for the ladies watching this, I think you should go. He's got some very insightful things to say over on his ladies channel as well. Things that, particularly BWs, he talks about things that often aren't talked about, and he says things to his audience that often aren't told to that particular demographic. And it's very, very educational for men to listen to as well, though he oftentimes asks us men to kind of fall back and not pile on to what he's saying. So what his content has meant to me personally as a man, I think there are those of us who were raised in some instances by single mothers, or in some instances with fathers who lived in other cities, and in some instances we were raised in environments where there were men around but who didn't really participate in our lives. So we grew up and started transitioning into manhood with certain key pieces missing. And so many of us have had to, life is a learning process anyway, but there have been certain key pieces many of us have had to fill in along the way, and there are certain key pieces that many of us didn't know that we were walking around without. And there are many men still walking around without those key pieces. And those key pieces, which I call consequential knowledge, which I pulled from the great Dr. Thomas Sowell, consequential knowledge is knowledge for which there are consequences when you don't have it. And so Rom, through his content, has helped fill in a lot of those pieces. Um, and one of his nicknames is Uncle Rom because he is very much the uncle that a lot of us haven't had. In many ways, he's the big brother, and in some ways, he's the father that a lot of us haven't had. And I often talk about the master teacher BGS on this channel as well, and he refers to Rom as the field master because much of what Rom reports or discusses is how to grow out in the field and how to observe things out in the field. And he discusses lessons that he's learned as a man as it relates to women and just things in general from things he's learned out in the field. So the master teacher has given him the nickname the field master. And I would encourage going to listen to, if you're a black male who's missing certain key pieces, I would encourage going to listen to the master teacher BGS's content as well, particularly the octane scale. But Ram has talked about numerous things. He's known for the concept of select and non-select men. He very much endorses the body game, making sure your body looks good, so you're your best physical self, not only for your health but also for attracting the opposite sex. He has discussed the concept of masks and men and women wearing masks for social purposes, for professional purposes, but not showing who their true selves are to everyone. That's very, very important because I've experienced that a lot in my life, particularly growing up in a black church. And he's also discussed the concept of social class, which is absolutely huge in a city like Washington, D.C., where there are so many professionals running around, there are so many black churches, there are so many government organizations. The concepts of masks and social class, those are huge. And I actually discussed Rom in my blog post regarding social class in the black community. Now understand this, Rom says that a lot. Understand this. If you were raised in a family where there were no black Greeks and where there weren't a lot of white collar professionals, then the concept of social class probably did not come up in your upbringing. So it probably came crashing into you as you got your education, your college degree, and as you went out into the working world and moved to a major metropolitan area like DC or New York or Chicago or even now Atlanta or Charlotte. So these things matter when you're out as an adult navigating in certain social circles and in workplaces and in things like the government. So like BGS's content, who I just mentioned, there were things that weren't told to us in our families, particularly as black people, either because our elders were ill-equipped to share certain things with us, or they didn't know, or they just didn't want to tell us. And so, for example, my father, and I talk about my father a lot in my content, the main things my father talked about as it related to women were education, age, and astrology. And my dad's teachings, excuse me, there was always a hint of pessimism. So that very much clouded my worldview as I progressed into adulthood. In terms of my mom tried to raise two upright, good men. We were raised in a church, and my mother, in a recent conversation, revealed that she's been told that she looks at the world through rose-colored glasses. So collectively, for me, this created an inability to always see things as they truly are and to see things in their entirety. And that's why Rom's content has been so valuable. And again, this is important if you were raised in a church where things are covered up and things are not always what they seem, and where people are always wearing masks, and where you find out who they truly are, usually in some sort of scandal or usually through rumors. So I'm going to just give an overview of Nice Guys and Players. I think this is a good place to segue into it. Once again, I'm hearing my brother Amal's voice, so I'm not going to tell you everything that's in the book, but I'm just going to give you a feel for it and encourage you to go out and get your own copy of it. So if I could describe Nice Guys and Players in just one or two talking points, I would say that one of the things Rom talks about in this book and in his content is men functioning on multiple levels. And so what that means is one of the fallacies I was raised with and that I entered the adult world with was that my PhD would be enough, and just going to get a college degree would be enough to have a happy life and even to win in the dating world. I'm not shy, and I'm pretty transparent about the fact that I've struggled in the dating world. I've been in 3 toxic relationships. Each were learning experiences, each for different reasons. And there were reasons why I was in those relationships. A major reason was a lack of self-love. Another reason was not having a standard of my own, but another reason was not resting firmly in my masculine energy. And so Rom describes 4 archetypes in here. In essence, a man has to learn how to operate on multiple levels. So it's not just your college degree. It's not just the amount of money that you have in your pocket. It's also the body game. It's also the way you dress. Are your clothes too baggy? Do they fit your body? Does your body look good, and do your clothes look good on your body? Do you have a social confidence? Do you look at a woman in her eyes when you're talking to her? Are you assertive? Do you speak with some bass in your voice? Are you ready for some sort of potential physical conflict on the street? All these things contribute to being a man. And it's not just your college degree or your PhD or your white collar career. There are numerous things that there are numerous qualities you need to exhibit and numerous levels you need to hit on, and there are numerous things that women are looking for and that they see and judge you on when they're looking at you. And what's interesting is, throughout my adult life, even going back to college, I can think of numerous women that I wanted to talk to, some which I got the chance to talk to, some with varying results, and some that I just didn't get the chance to talk to just because I didn't have the social confidence at that time, just because I wasn't hitting on multiple levels, and just because there were pieces missing. I can think of one woman back in my undergraduate institution, which was an HBCU. She's married now, but back in the day, I very much would have liked to talk to her. But I guess it is what it is. And even now in the adult world, there are women that I saw who I either didn't have the courage to talk to, and in some instances I did go and talk to them, and they didn't want to talk to me. There are any number of reasons for that, but I was not my best self, and that's something that Rom discusses on his channels, in which he discusses in this book. He actually gives specifics for being your best self in this book, And he often refers back to this book in much of his video content. And that's one of the reasons why I went out and bought it, is because I heard him talk about it numerous times. And I said, well, I'm just going to go get a copy of Nice Guys and Players for myself. I'm almost done. But one of the other important things Rom discusses in this book is the true nature of women and who they really, really are. And I laughed when I read something in here, which was that women are very vain creatures, in some instances entitled, and in some instances very self-indulgent. And when I read that and I looked around on the street that I work at and seeing some of the women walk by, particularly the BWs, I realized that, yeah, that's right. And just thinking about the relationships I've been in and the interactions I've had with women, I would say that that's accurate. Vain, self-indulgent, and oftentimes entitled. So there are a lot of important things in this book, particularly if you're a man who's gotten to adulthood, particularly a black man, and you still feel like there are pieces missing from you. Many of the pieces are found in this book. And I would encourage you to find Rom on YouTube and follow him and listen to his content. Perhaps become a Patreon and just see what you can learn. His content has very much resonated with me, and I want to close this video by acknowledging Rom, the Field Master, Uncle Rom. Thank you for all that you do, and thank you for creating materials like this. Please let me know if you have any questions or comments in the comment section below. Please like this video, please share it, and please subscribe to my channel. And as always, remember that your attitude determines your altitude. Take care, and I will talk to you the next time. Bye-bye. So I almost forgot. I have a hard copy of Nice Guys and Players. I was able to find this copy on Amazon. But I'm looking at Rom's website right now, and it looks like you can download Nice Guys and Players onto your Kindle if you have one. I don't have a Kindle. I should probably invest in one along with everyone else so I can download books onto it. But I'm going to leave Rom's website in the description box below. All right.